And it came to be afterwards that David inquired of Yahweh, saying, Do I go up to any of the cities of Yehudah? And David went up there, as well as his two wives, Ahinoam the Israelitess, and Abigail the widow of Nabal the Carmelite. And David brought up the men who were with him, each man with his household. And they dwelt in the cities of Hebron. And the men of Yehudah came, and anointed David sovereign over the house of Yehudah there. They also reported to David, saying, The men of Yabesh Gilead, are they who bury Shaul? David then sent messengers to the men of Yabesh Gilead, and said to them, You are Baruch of Yahweh, for you have shown this kindness to your master, to Shaul, that you buried him. And now Yahweh show kindness and truth to you, and I am also going to do you good, because you have done this deed. And now let your hands be strengthened, and be brave, for your master Shaul is dead, and also the house of Yehudah has anointed me sovereign over them. But Abner son of Ner, commander of the army of Shaul, took Ishbosheth the son of Shaul, and brought him over to Mahanaim, and appointed him the reign over Gilead, and over the Asherites, and over Yisrael, and over Ephraim, and over Benjamin, and over all Yisrael. Ishbosheth, son of Shaul, was 40 years old when he began to reign over Yisrael, and he reigned 2 years. Only the house of Yehudah followed David. And the time that David was sovereign in Hebron over the house of Yehudah was 7 years and 6 months. And Abner son of Ner, and the servants of Ishbosheth, son of Shaul, went out from Mahanaim to Gabon. And Joab son of Zeruiah, and the servants of David, went out to meet them by the pool of Gabon. And they sat down, one on one side of the pool, and the other on the other side of the pool. And Abner said to Joab, Let the young men now rise, and complete before us. And Joab said, Let them rise. And they rose and went over by number, 12 from Benjamin, followers of Ishbosheth son of Shaul, and 12 from the servants of David. And each one grasped his opponent by the head, and thrust his sword through his opponent's side, and they fell to the ground together. So that place was called the Field of Sharp Swords, which is in Gabon. And the battle was fierce on that day. And Abner and the men of Israel were smitten before the servants of David. And there was 3 sons of Zeruiah there, Joab, and Abishai, and Asiel. And Asiel was light on his feet, as one of the gazelles in the field. And Asiel pursued Abner, and in going he did not turn aside to the right or to the left from following Abner. And Abner looked behind him and said, Are you Asiel? And he answered, I am. And Abner said to him, Turn aside to your right hand, or to your left, and lay hold of one of the young men, and take his armor for yourself. But Asiel would not turn aside from following him. And Abner again said to Asiel, Turn aside from following me. Why shall I smite you to the ground? How then could I face your brother Joab? But he refused to turn aside. And Abner smote him with the blunt end of the spear in the stomach, so that the spear came out of his back. And he fell down there and died on the spot. And it came to be that as many as came to the place where Asiel fell down and died stood still. And Joab and Abishai pursued Abner, and the sun was going down, and they came to the hill of Ammah, which overlooks Giah, by the way of the wilderness of Gabon. And the children of Benjamin gathered together behind Abner, and became a single company, and took their stand on top of a hill. And Abner called to Joab and said, Should the sword devour forever? Do you not know that it is bitter in the end? And when are you going to say to the people to turn back from pursuing their brothers? And Joab said, As Elohim lives, if you had not spoken, then all the people would have given up pursuing their brothers. Only the next morning, Joab then blew the ram's horn, and all the people halted and pursued Israel no further, nor did they fight any more. And Abner and his men went on all that night through the desert plain, and passed over the Jordan, and went through all Bithron, and they came to Mahanaim. And Joab turned back from pursuing Abner, and when he had gathered all the people together, there were missing of David's servants 19 men, and Asiel. But the servants of David had smitten of Benjamin and Abner's men 360 men who died. And they brought Asiel and buried him in his father's tomb, which was in Bethlehem. Joab and his men went all night And they came to Hebron at daybreak.